Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are going to learn how to take any medium or large size frog that you happen to have in your arsenal and turn it into a floating buzzbait. Yeah, this is a thing I've been working on for most of the season now. I've tested it out on a number of different frogs. The frog that I'm using here is the Tactical Fishing Company B2. Works pretty well with this. No issues. I've had success with this frog. I've had success with other frog types, but the one that has really stood out to me is the Teckle Honker. But since I am part of the promotional team for Tactical Fishing Company, I'm going to make sure that I take care of my own. B2, fantastic frog. Great for this application. Great for lots of other applications. Get to know it and love it. Okay, so how do we build this contraption? What actually is this? It's a detachable buzzbait blade. Like, I can take this off. One of the things I really like about this mod is that I can completely remove it with a simple pair of split ring pliers. And I can literally put this blade on any appropriately sized frog that I want. It requires no modification to the frog itself. That's now a bone stock white B2. It's great. So this is the device that we're actually talking about making. So what do you need in order to build this? Well, you're going to need about 6 inches, 6.5 inches worth of wire. It is the 0.043 diameter, 360 pound rated. This stuff is really pretty inexpensive. It's easy to work with, and it's available at any Cabela's or Bass Pro shop. Other components that you'll get potentially from Cabela's or Bass Pro. You're going to need 2 of these teeny tiny 3/32 beads. You're going to need 1 heavy duty stainless steel split ring. This is a VMC. This one is a size 4, and I believe it's rated for 27 pounds. Links for all of this are going to be in the description. And then we have the one specialty item that you kind of have to buy, which is this aluminum buzzbait blade. I believe this is a C size, and I bought mine from Barlow's. Again, link will be in the description below. Total cost for all of the components that you see here is about $1.21. Okay, so how do we build this thing? You're going to need 3 different sets of pliers to do this. I mean, I'm going to use 3 different sets of pliers. Wire cutting pliers, we've already used these. Double round nose wire bending pliers. Got these, I want to say, at like Michael's craft store or something like that. I like the double round end, right? They're just easier. Okay, trust me. Set those down. And then a set of split ring pliers. Okay, now wire bending to get nice perfectly round eye loops is an art, right? And it took me a long time to figure this out. There's a magic to it, right? There's a trick. So you're going to start out, come about, I don't know, 2 inches down from the end of your wire. Just pick any point that you want, right? Then you're going to grab it with tight as you can hold it right there. And you're going to bend the wire, the top side of the wire, away from you to about a 45-degree angle. Everybody see that? Okay. So here's the trick. See how my pliers are below the bend? Okay. We're now going to go above that bend. Okay. Everybody got that? We're now above the bend. We're going to grab this top part of the wire and we're going to bend it over our pliers. Everybody see that? Now, what you should have is something that looks like that. Once you have that, you're going to kind of like shift your grip a little bit. And I take my thumb and I hold it underneath the longer part of the wire. And I use it for leverage so that the only thing that's bending is my tag end. And I get that nice round loop. Man, my fingers are dirty. I was out fishing before I started to make this video. Forgive me for that. Okay, so you've got your loop. You're going to grab it sideways with your wire bending pliers. And now what you're going to do is you're just going to twist, twist, and twist. Now, here's another trick. Use your wire cutters to really get a grip on this thing so that your wraps are nice and snug. And after you clean it up, you end up with something that looks pretty much like that. We can cut off this tag end. You end up with a line tie that looks something like that. It's not the best I've ever done, but it's not terrible either. Okay, cool. Here's the counterintuitive part. You're going to turn this upside down. You're going to grab a bead. Now this first bead is the more important of the two, because this is going to be the one that the blade actually rides against. And if you buy these White River beads, the thing I want you to know is that they're not round on both sides. Like there is a round side and there is a flat side, because these are designed for fly tying. I like to make sure that the rounded, more pointy side is actually facing the blade. What does this do for you? It gives you a reduced point of friction, and it makes sure that the blade doesn't come in contact with the spur left over from where you cut that wire off. Just gives the blade something to ride on, nice and clean. Okay? The counterintuitive part is that you're actually building this from back to front. And I'll show you why in a minute. Now we have another bead that we put on just for good measure towards the top. And the reason that we build this backwards is because we have another line tie that we need to put here, and that would be really difficult if we had to like navigate around this notch in this blade. But we're just going to repeat exactly the same process that we did the first time around. You're going to pick your point where you want to have your loop begin. Give it a little bit of space. It doesn't have to be a lot. You're going to grip tightly, right? Bend away from yourself to a 45-degree angle. There we go. Cool. Go back to your grip point. You're below the bend. Shift your grip so that you're now above that bend. And you're going to hold it as tight as you can, right? Now you're going to bring that wire back over the top. The nice thing is the blade kind of gets out of your way because it rotates on axis. Cool. Shift your grip a little bit. Put your thumb there to kind of brace it. And you finished your nice round loop. Pinch it across the top. And start your wraps. Now the longer your tag end, the easier this actually is to do. You got a lot more leverage. And this doesn't have to be super crazy, pretty perfect. But we'll make it as nice as we can. All right. Go ahead and cut off our excess. And there you have it. A buzzbait blade. Now we grab our split ring pliers, put this onto the back. And this blade is now ready to be attached to any frog we want. Ideally, medium and large size frogs. Okay, so what does this mod actually do to your frog? Okay, well, let me demonstrate. This is the way that you can tell that the blade is too heavy or too big. I mean, for sure, on whatever frog you're using. Go ahead and put this back on. Okay, it's a simple water test. Right? So here we have a bucket of water. We're going to put the frog in the water. And we can tell that the blade is not touching. Right? Bounce it. Do your thing, right? It's not taking the frog down. The frog is continuously coming up. You can cast this thing. Yeah, just like any other buzzbait. And it should be just fine. Nice thing about it too is if your frog is properly weighted, it will self-correct every time. because this rotates. So I hope you like it. I hope you use it. If anybody decides to mass market these, please remember that you saw it here first. I don't mind getting paid for my ideas, and it's always good to have extra money to donate to causes that help improve, water quality in the Chesapeake Bay. Remember, it's never too late to care again.